I'm Chris Conley. I'm the district attorney here in Lauderdale County. As a prosecutor, I've seen many tragic situations over the years in the work that I do. One of those situations has stuck with me, and I want to tell you about it today. On December 21st, 2009, our office, like many, was getting ready for Christmas and kind of slowing down, and I happened to be in the dispatch office of the Lauderdale County Sheriff's Department when a 911 call was transferred in. And that's how I learned of the death of Holly Newberry.
My first memories of Holly was when she was born, and the doctor was talking about telling my wife that she was going to be a pretty good sized baby and everything, and talked like she probably weighed 8 pounds, 8.5. When she finally was born, she weighed 10 pounds, 13 ounces, and, about 22 inches long, so she was a pretty good sized baby. She was so fat when she was born, her forehead hung down on her eyes. As she was growing up, I think she was 8 years old when her mother died with brain cancer. She was 8 years old. Her brother was 11. I just remember the look on her and Matt's face whenever we had to tell them that their mom had died. Later on up in high school, Holly I reckon, just decided she wanted to move out. And she did. Come to find out she had got pregnant with this guy. Pregnant with Caitlin. And there was just, stuff going on that didn't seem right over the years, but I didn't say nothing about it. Trying to mind my own business. Things seemed to get worse. But she never would really say what was going on. I just never asked. And then they separated for a while, and they'd get back together and all that stuff. She seemed to be moving on with her life. He didn't want to let her go. She seemed to be moving on. She had bought her a new trailer and had it set up down behind my dad's house. She was really happy about that, being able to get her own place to live and a new house. And she was working every hour she could work.
We would watch movies and we would go to town and all that kind of stuff. She was really funny and she liked to smile.
She's just one of the best daughters you could have ever asked for. She was a great mom to these girls.
My mom was a good mom. I really miss her.
I don't know whether she just didn't really know where to turn or who to see about what was going on and how it got to where it was. I've tried to figure out what went wrong and why I didn't know something was going on.
Holly was 24 years old, the mother of 2 small children, when she lost her life. Holly was a victim of domestic violence. On December the 21st, Chris Rich, the father of those children, took a shotgun, pointed it at Holly's head, and pulled the trigger. He then got in a car, Holly's car, inside with those 2 children, and he left her dead in the driveway of his grandmother's house, literally laying in a mud puddle. He came to the courthouse with those children, we believe to deliver them to a relative who worked there. Due to the good work of law enforcement, he was captured in our courthouse parking lot, and we got those children to safety. We then learned that the tragic events that had happened. We learned that Caitlin Newberry, who was then 6 years old, had seen exactly what her father had done to her mother. She told us in great detail about him shooting her in the head. No child should have to see that. The case proceeded through the court system. Chris Rich was charged with capital murder and ultimately, on the eve of the jury trial, entered a guilty plea, and he's now serving life without parole in our prison system. And we've done our job. We held him accountable for his actions. That case stuck with me. And it stuck with me because of what we learned in researching the case. We learned not only that Holly was a victim of domestic violence on the day that she lost her life. 12 days prior to that day, she had contacted authorities and said that he had threatened her with a shotgun. Unfortunately, nothing happened with that report, and there were multiple other prior reports of domestic violence in Holly's life. The system at that time didn't work for domestic violence victims. Victims were told to go to various different places in our court system and different agencies to get the relief that they needed. And often, with children in tow, they were unable to get the services that they needed, and they were left to stay in abusive relationships. We knew that we could do better. We looked at statistics that told us in 2009, the state of Alabama was third in the nation for women who were killed by men. Our own county, Lauderdale County, led the state of Alabama in that year with the number of homicide victims related to domestic violence. We could not let that stand. So we began a program called our Domestic Violence Unit to address this problem. And we've made progress, but there's more to do. In October of 2013, we began One Place with the Shoals. One Place with the Shoals is a coalition of agencies that service victims of child abuse, victims of sexual abuse, victims of rape, victims of elder abuse, and victims of domestic violence. The agencies involved have collaborated to provide the services to victims in our community. So we're in place now, working cooperatively with our law enforcement agencies and our social service agencies to provide this service to victims. However, we can do more. We need one place. We need a building so that these agencies can collaborate where a victim only goes to one place to get the services that they need. And we can do that here in the Shoals, and we need your help. For more information about this important project, you can contact Angie Hamilton in my office at 256-764-6351, or you can visit our website at daconley.com.